G'day everybody, welcome to Fly Fish Live. My name's Josh. Over the next few weeks we'll be showcasing Men's Series 1, which was streamed earlier this year back in July. It was a lot of fun, but we're going to showcase it in our new look with the new screens. And our first game, which we'll show you today, is Kirk Lewis from the USA versus Cory Scott from New Zealand. Before we get into the match, want to make sure that you guys go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss out on any new content that's coming out or any special events or any new shows that come up. And we also have a new channel now, good old Twitch TV. So give us a follow over on Twitch TV. It's twitch.tv/flyfishlive. Head on over there. It's going to be a lot of fun over there. You'll see us out fishing as well. Apart from these shows, we'll do a little bit more over on there as well. We also have a patron page. So to become a patron, it's €2 and you'll get your Instagram name up on every show for people to follow you as recognition as a special patron. Also, you'll get to see patron-only content and you'll get notified early on any upcoming events, shows, or content that we're going to put out. Also, we have Facebook, Instagram, and it's @FishCoin. So go give us a follow over there. And also we have Fly Fish Live, a hashtag Fly Fish Live, and any fish pictures that you may have. Make sure you hashtag Fly Fish Live on your social media, your Facebook and your Instagram, and we'll have a competition coming up in Men's Series 2. So stay tuned for that. Hashtag away, and we'll get back into this first match between Cory Scott from New Zealand up against Kirk Lewis from the USA, and we head straight down and start talking to Cory Scott down on the riverbank.
How's the conditions there, Cory?
I don't think you could have picked a better day. I mean, we're in the middle of winter. When you first pitched this concept to me, Josh, I just kind of laughed. We're in a country that has no data coverage and no cell phone coverage in most places, especially the better rivers. And also the season finished 2 weeks ago, so everywhere's closed. And we've got probably two options with data and also that could provide fishing in winter. And 2 days ago it was -3. Yesterday it was 3 degrees, and today it almost feels like it's 15. And there's swallows working the water. Had a little fish back further and picked up a lot of smaller fish. So the fish are definitely on the chew today, a lot more active.
Yep.
So out of all the days of the last 2 months, this is probably the best day. So yeah, we jammed it.
It's worked out. It's worked out perfect for you almost.
Yeah. So
you got Rachel McNay saying go, Cory.
Yep, Rachel's actually up on the bank over there.
Is she?
Behind the tree. There's a few members of Sports Fly Fishing New Zealand that have come down to watch. A couple that I mentor, and they've come here to support. And then after this is finished, for the help that they've provided for me today, I'm going to pass on, help them out with their fishing later on. So
how's the conditions over there, Kirk?
It's sunny and hot, a little bit breezy, but this morning I fished a different section of the river. It was fishing nice.
Yep. Awesome. And have you got any expectations on numbers?
We'll see when it gets this hot. It's hit and miss, but the water's still cold. Just the air temp is pretty hot, so hopefully the fish will be sitting in the riffles and some of the deeper pools, and they've been pretty hungry this morning.
Yep, nice. Well, we've got Howard Croston here as the guest, and he's currently the world's #1 fly fisherman in competition fishing. And there's a couple of questions here, mate. Like in this situation, what we'll do, like these guys want to know sort of what sort of stuff goes through your head, like hours or minutes before a major competition.
Yeah. Yeah,
For me, I think when in the run up to like a major comp, it depends how the practice has gone. But usually by the time you get to the comp, everything's already out the way. You've already got everything ruled out, and it's just a matter of getting it done. And then I've always found the best thing you can do is just treat it like any other day's fishing. To be honest, for me, I used to get so nervous and panicky, thinking, I don't want to mess up, or I don't want to let anybody down, or don't want to blow the beat. If I've got good water, and to be honest, you always fish worse when you do that. So
Well, how do you sort of focus in mind, like get into the zone before the session?
For me, I just try and treat it now like just like a day's fishing. I just get in the water and fish.
You don't start singing any songs or anything like that?
Nah, not really, to be honest. I just try and stay calm and, drink a lot of water before I start.
We're going to go back to Tasmania. And we're going to ask, like, coming into that final session at the Worlds in Tassie, Australia, you must have known you were, like, in with a chance to get the number one spot. Like, was there something you did to focus on that?
Yeah, I mean, going into that, some feedback. Going into that, hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, going into that last session, I was in the lead, and I'll be honest, I've been there very close to that before, and this time round, all I thought was, whatever you do, don't F it up.
Yeah.
And that was the main. I've just got to go out and fish, because I was fishing well that week. I had a good run of it, and I made a few good decisions over the week, and I tried my best to like put the results out of my head. And I mean, what made it more interesting was, I won't say interesting, what made it more terrifying really was obviously Valerio Santamantini. He was in second, and he was in my group as well.
Yeah.
So Federico Santamantini, and so it was between me and him to some degree, and and typically his boat was laid back at the end of the match, so that was a bit more torture, it was a bit. That was the most nerve-wracking session, to be fair. But I only had what did I have? I had 5 chances for 4 fish. There was only one chance that I didn't stick.
Let's say 1 minute, and we'll get the game rolling.
1 minute.
All right, now these guys have been practicing, and they've been catching quite a few fish. So this could be really, really interesting. All right, are we ready?
We are ready in Colorado. Good luck, Cory.
Yep.
Kirk
You
says
ready?
good luck, Cory.
Go, buddy.
Game on. So you fished these rivers, Howard?
Yeah, I fished both those rivers. I'll be honest, the Eagle wasn't that kind to me the last time I fished it. That gave me a bit of a kick in the Worlds in 16. But they're both really good rivers.
Yeah.
From memory. It's 2008 since I was in New Zealand, so that's long overdue a return trip. But yeah, really good rivers, both of them. Yeah.
Is there any sort of numbers you're expecting they should catch, or?
It's so long ago. I remember. There was some really good water in the Eagle. I think some of the guys got into the mid-20s, but I certainly didn't. I had a pretty poor beat, and I think I had 6 off my beat on the Eagle, and I think Devon Olsen fished it behind me. He had 5 or 6 as well, and after that it was ones and 2s and blanks. But there was some really, really good water as well.
I remember that beat. That was a very challenging beat.
Yeah, it was special.
What sort of size fit do you go? Do you go for size as well as numbers, or is it just one thing you focus on?
Oh, numbers. Obviously with comps, numbers.
Yeah.
Small fish. That's what you
All right,
like.
you guys watch.
Yeah. So Kirk's got a fish at the minute, and so has Cory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fish.
Look out. They're both on. That's not a bad start.
Big rainbow landed. Fish in.
Big rainbow. Nice work.
Cool.
Nice work. Probably 15 incher.
You want to grab yourself a beer, mate?
Grab yourself a beer, he said. All right, one down. Got the skunk off.
The score's a level.
Oh crap!
Is this the style of fishing you'd be?
You guys still see us?
No.
He's got another fish. You guys still see?
No, camera's off.
Oh fuck! Hold on. Kirk, land that fish and then fix your fucking phone. I don't know. You got a message and then it fucking went somewhere. I can still hear these guys though. Here, land your fish. Another big rainbow. Land your fish, hold it in the net. Okay, hold tight, guys. I'll hold your net. Sorry, his girlfriend texted him.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. You got it? Sorry.
He can blame her. He
Hey,
can
show the
blame her
fish.
for that one.
So there's the second one. Sorry, I don't know, man. It's an iPhone. I use Androids. Yeah, you're good. Go. All right, 2 in the net.
I'll throw that one there. That one's going to be a bit, as the connection shouldn't be lost. So that one's going to have to be reviewed.
Yeah, he got a text message. It was kind of strange, and I tried to make it go away, and then it went to some other screen. I'll try not to do that again.
So you've been to these exact same spots, Howard?
No, I don't recognise either of those bits. I don't think.
So for where the World Championships were, we are upstream, or we're downstream. We're downstream of Walcott. So there were 2 sections for the World Championships, and we're kind of in between those 2 sections on public water.
All right. So where's Gypsum Ponds from there?
Downstream. Gypsum's downstream by about 4 miles.
All right. Okay.
4 miles driving, probably like 5 or 6 river miles.
Right. Okay.
We're right in the town, like inside the town of Eagle, just down from some apartments.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was down at Gypsum Ponds in the Worlds.
Yeah, and you had one where it was that angled, right? Where you had like half of the river width.
That was the one.
Yeah, that was
the one. Yeah.
I had to help lift beats. I did not want to do that.
Yeah. I fell into a gopher hole as well. That was fun.
You're off fishing tomorrow, Howard?
I am. Early doors, 6 a.m. leaving.
6 a.m. And you're up right now at midnight.
I know.
Chat to us.
It's not good. I've been fishing all day. I've done 10 hours today as well.
So how long have you got the dream job, mate?
That's the weekend.
You wanted to try and keep Cory on that camera.
Can you see him?
Yep. And when you're in rivers like this, do you look for like the deep pools?
No, it just depends on the time of year,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, between the 2 bits of water now looking at it, I'd probably take what Kirk's in over what Cory's got. But again, obviously it's different time of year,
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk's fishing, it's the summer, he's wet weighed and Cory's probably freezing, so. You know, probably the deeper, slower water is probably a slightly better shout for Cory where he is.
Yeah.
You know.
He actually messaged me a couple of days ago. He went out there, it was -3 and frost and ice everywhere.
Yeah.
And now he got lucky with today. It was +7.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'd take Kirk's weather over Cory's at the minute.
Yep. So where are you fishing tomorrow?
Oh, so we've got it's a competition called the River Masters that Scott Nelling's out of the world team's just started.
Yeah.
It's like it's a three-man event pegged. That's on I think it's next weekend or the weekend after. Not sure which, but anyhow, we're practicing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So just on the River Tees. So it's like an upland fast pocket water kind of deal.
Yeah.
Quite sort of tannin stained water, quite peaty water.
Yeah.
But it's full of little wild brownies. It's really
Jumper.
good.
Have you fished Finland before?
I have, yes, a long time
Connor,
ago.
Curtains up.
Are you
Fishing
looking
the net.
forward
Guys
to
see
next
it?
year?
I caught a lot of pike.
Did you guys see that?
There's a lot of pike over here.
You
It
guys
was where
good?
we fished last time.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Can you
I
guys
think
hear
Kirk's
me?
got a fish.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
Kirk just landed one.
Yeah. Got him.
You guys hear us?
Yeah, gotcha.
Kirk, show me the net. You're good? Okay. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, he's got you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Sorry, I couldn't hear anything. I think I got muted there for a minute.
What would Cory be doing there, Howard? He's fishing right next to the bank, is he?
Yeah, I can't really see him, to be honest, on my screen. I've just got him as a little thumbnail. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I think he's just fished along the side of the bank.
Yeah.
He's right next to an electric fence, and if he touches it, it's going to blow him in the river.
That could be quite funny. What's the biggest fish you've caught in competition, Howard?
Oh, I'd have to think about that. Nothing actually huge, I don't think. I've been in some competitions where there's been some huge fish caught, but probably, yeah, to be honest, it was probably New Zealand.
Yeah.
Probably New Zealand back in 2008. I think I had one fish about, I don't know, maybe 5.5, something like that, out of I think it was the Whanganui, was it? Something like that.
Yeah.
I always struggle with the pronunciation of some of the New Zealand rivers, but it was I did get one big fish over there, I think, in the competition. But I'm normally just looking for the small ones, like everybody else.
Got another one on.
Kirk's on again.
Yeah, this looks like good water. Sorry, I couldn't hear you guys for the last like 5 minutes, and then I'm figuring out his phone as time goes by. He dropped it.
Dropped it. It's off.
Pretty fast water.
Howard, do you do a lot of saltwater fishing?
Oh yeah, well, quite a bit. I mean, not this year, obviously, because of all the travel problems. But yeah, I've done a lot. I've done a lot of saltwater fishing. I love tarpon fishing, so
yeah,
I've been lucky. I've done quite a lot of tarpon fishing over the years. So,
yeah,
I get around a fair bit. Normally, probably never will again, but you know.
So how many years have you been involved in the World Championships?
Yeah. I think the first one I did was Finland. When would that be? 2007, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
maybe 2006. I can't actually remember. I did one in Finland, but I did the Europeans before that. I did 2 Europeans before.
Yeah.
So a while. That's probably the best answer. I have done about 12 or something now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's hooked up again. Never mind.
He's off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite tough water. That looks really heavy.
Yeah. Looks like Cory's going.
Fish!
Yeah.
Fish!
Fish. Cory's on.
Yeah, that's good.
Keep it going, mate.
Now, at the moment, I think the score is 2-2 just because of a dropped video channel, but that'll be reviewed after the match. So
You're 13 minutes in, Cory.
I think you said you reckon there's a lot of rainbows in where Cory's fishing.
From I thought he was on the Wahoo, but I don't think he is. So it was one of the rivers we fished in the Worlds in 8 was the Wahoo, I think it was called.
Yep.
And there was a lot of small rainbows in that one. A lot of small rainbows in that one. We got it slightly wrong. I think some of the teams did really well swinging on some of those rivers.
Yeah.
The small rainbows. We didn't do much of that, which was probably a bit of a mistake. Although we did have some good results. I think John Horsey was right up there. He didn't medal, but he was close, I think.
Yeah. I got one guy here, Graham Lonigan. He said, "Is Euro nymphing the go-to method for competition fishing?"
I think pretty much most people these days are looking for water to Euro nymphing in the comps, and if you've got good Euro nymphing water, it's the best way to get them out. So it is probably one of the main methods. I mean, you've got to be a little bit careful because it's not the be all and end all. Sometimes when other methods work better, so you've got to be able to do it all. But it's Euro nymphing is probably is most people's preferred go-to, I would say now.
Most
Because
effective.
it's so effective.
Kirk's hooked up.
All right, Kirk's back on.
Fish!
Yeah.
I think Cory's got one as well. Is that
Yeah,
Cory getting
Cory
one?
has one as well.
Fish!
I'm not sure what he said then, but
Kirk netted his. Net in the air. Good to go.
Now this is quite interesting, especially for those who never really seen competition fishing. But what's it if you got a good beat at a competition? What sort of the average numbers you're going to try and look at? It all depends on where you are, I suppose.
Oh, it just depends. It depends massively.
Kirk's hooked up again.
Oh, there we go.
Never mind.
No, he's off.
Well, I think probably want to beat like Kirk's. That's probably the kind of water you're looking for because that's he's getting quite a lot of chances there. I mean, it just depends. I mean, Norway in 2000 and when was it? 2011, something like that. One fish out of each beat, and you were world champion. That's how tough it was. I managed to catch one fish in 5 sessions.
Yeah.
I had 4 blanks, and the year before I'd been 4th in Slovenia. So I went from 4th to 104th, 12 months, which is a pretty meteoric descent. But some. I mean, the most I've ever had in a 3-hour session was in Italy. I had 49 on the Sarka in a European Championship.
In 3 hours.
Yeah, and I came 3rd. I wasn't very happy. Somebody caught 50, and then somebody else had 51.
Was that 2018?
I was safe with 49, but I wasn't. Never mind.
Was that 2018?
It might have been. Yeah.
No,
it wasn't 18. I can't remember, to be honest. It was the Europeans, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it all depends. All depends on the bait.
Fish
Yeah.
on.
Fish on Kirk again. There's a few. There's a mixed group on here that's Kirk and Cory.
All right, he landed it. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Get in the air. There's the fish.
Yeah.
There it is.
Got it. Would you be fishing both of these rivers the same way as these guys are fishing?
Yeah, probably I would say.
Fish for Cory.
Fish for Cory.
Awesome, mate.
I mean, it's bad to. Obviously, the video feed's not fantastic, so I can't see too much detail.
Yep.
The only thing I would probably do, and it's always difficult. I mean, Kirk's beat's got a lot of really heavy water in it by the looks of it. The only thing I try and do in that kind of water is fish more straight upstream rather than across, which can be difficult, you know. But I'd generally try and fish more straight upstream because your conversion rate's slightly better.
Yep.
So if you're fishing across the river in heavy water, they've got a chance to get downstream of you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're fishing slightly more upstream, you can quite often get them coming straight down the floor towards you, and you get a stab at them with the net, you know. But it's, you know, sometimes you just can't do anything about it. You know, I had the same in Italy in the last Worlds I did in Italy, and I had a really good beat with some heavy water, and I couldn't get behind them. I had to fish across to them, and my conversion rate was terrible. I think I had about 10 hooked and landed about 3 of them out of one piece of water.
Now, I've seen that you've been putting up a YouTube shows.
Yeah, that was when I couldn't go fishing. I was going stir crazy, so I had to do something. So, you know, my videos will probably dwindle to nothing now because the river's open again. So, but yeah, I've got a YouTube channel where I've been putting a lot of sort of like tips videos and a few fishing videos, and I will keep chipping away and doing a few more, you know, and putting some stuff out there. It's been quite popular, to be honest. It seems like people like it, so I like keep doing it.
If anyone that hasn't seen it, if they're looking for it, what do they search?
I forget what it's called now. It's called Howard Croston Fly Fishing.
It's Howard Croston Fly Fishing.
I should be able to remember it, but it is the middle of the night here, so I'm struggling a bit.
You need another beer.
Yeah, I'll have to go and have a look, see if I've got any left in the fridge.
Go and grab one, and I'll keep an eye on these guys.
Yeah, I think I will. It was 2 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, that's a tough angle. Hooked up with a really tough angle.
The Cory's on again.
So is Kirk.
They're both on.
Got a little heated battle going.
Yeah, there is one fish to review so far, but we'll get to that at the end of the game.
So this is a big fish at a tough angle.
Big rainbow. Maybe.
It's a big old rainbow.
Yeah.
Working those arms right now. Looks like he got it. Woo!
Yeah.
Nice fish. They're healthy in the Eagle. We got really strong fish in the Eagle. Wow, I don't know if you guys just saw that fish jump right in front of me.
Yeah.
Wow, that was at the very end of the drift, way downstream.
How'd you go, mate? Did you have any more beers left?
I found one.
Nice. Nice
On the
work.
hard stuff now.
If anyone out there's got any questions they want to maybe throw towards Howard, just comment them in the comments section. I'll see if I can cover them.
Yeah,
Do you,
the longer it
did
goes,
you fish with a lot of the U.S. guys? Have you become friends with any of those guys?
Sorry?
Have you become friends with any of the U.S. team guys?
Yeah, I know a few of those guys. I know Devon pretty well and Lance. I knew quite a lot of the old team as well. When Mike Sexton was fishing, I was friends with Mike. I went over and actually fished with him on the Truckee.
Yeah, it's a fun river, huh?
That was awesome. That's
Yeah,
some huge fishing.
Mike's a stud. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah, really good fishing as well. The Truckee was awesome.
Big fish.
We've got one guy here. Alan wants to know if you controllers can get a little bit closer somehow. If there's any chance towards the competitors.
I might be able to as I go around the corner a bit. I think I'm just up on a high bank. I can't get across to where he is.
Yeah, no worries.
My concern is I don't know if I could focus in on the video more. I can try that. I just don't want to lose the video.
Nah, that's fine, mate. That's fine. Just Howard, we've got Shane Bird here. He says, "Have you done much fishing in Ireland?"
I'll be honest, not a lot. No, a little bit. I did an international, Rivers International there, which was pretty good. The fishing was good where we did fish. Trying to remember the river now. I think it might have been I can't remember if it was the Agivy or not. Anyway, it was good, but I've not been too often. I've only been a couple of times, I think, to Ireland. You know, it's weird, really, because it's really close and the fishing's really good, but it's just one of those places I've not ended up.
Yeah. What's your favourite place you've been to?
It's a tough one. I mean, for trout fishing, I'll be honest, I really like Italy. Yeah. But it's a combination of things there. It's everything, it's the scenery. I've got a lot of Italian friends. The fishing's really good. Yeah.
Fish on.
Fish on, Kirk.
Kirk with another one.
Another runner.
This
thing's on its way down to the ponds.
I think Cory's on a mission as well. Looks like he's doing a bit of speed wading.
Yeah, it looks like he's running the 100-meter sprint.
Yeah.
We've probably covered about 200 meters of water. So we're on a river called the Waimakariri, which runs into the Waihau that you would have fished, Howard.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
We might have practiced that one.
Yeah, it's a spring creek. But sort of over the years, the numbers don't seem to really be here like they used to be. There are a lot of bigger fish moved in now, and sort of pushed a lot of the smaller fish out.
Okay.
We've got Howard. We've got Craig Dawson from Australia said to say g'day. He controlled you and
fish.
No.
Cory's got a fish.
Oh yeah, I remember Craig. Oh, Cory's got one.
Cory's got one. He says.
Yeah, I remember Craig. How you doing, mate? Good
All right, here goes. Kirk's bringing this one to the net. It's a nice rainbow again. He dropped it right at the net.
Dropped it. I didn't quite see. Did Cory land that?
Yeah. Was all.
Another one to review, but done.
Oh, he's closing the gap a little bit now.
He is. If that one's all good, then I do believe it's actually 5-all. We've got another question here for you, Howard. Matthew Senick from Canada. He said, what fly are you using with which type of line? Oh, hang on, that one. Sorry, that was to Cory.
Yeah, that's for Cory. I can see the questions as well. I've got my phone open.
Yeah. Well, Matt said to say good day.
Yeah. Must be a lot of fish holding in that piece of water that Kirk's got.
Yeah, he hasn't moved.
I mean, he's not really moved. He's probably only done about 20 or 30 yards.
Yeah. In that sort of situation, would you just stay there until you just don't hook up, or?
Well, the thing with that kind of water is when you look at it, it looks really hard, and it looks like it's maybe not got a lot of holding water, but that bottom is probably just all cobble and broken sort of rock, and there's loads of places for it to sit, and it's really good fishable water, but sometimes it's quite easy to miss them because you've not got the weights right, or you don't get the fly running right past one of them. You can leave them behind. But I love that kind of water in particular. The challenge with it is getting them out sometimes.
Yeah.
That's probably some of my favourite kind of water. That sort of really heavy, broken. Because a lot of people don't actually fish that too heavily.
Yeah.
Because it's not a defined, clear spot where they're going to be sitting. You got to sort of look for them in the bottom debris.
Yeah. And what's the hardest part if they head downstream, I suppose, trying to get them back up?
Yeah, it's just when they get down below you, that's the thing. So, which is why I like trying to fish more upstream if I can, but it's not always possible, just in that kind of water, you can't always do that. But it looks like he's got a bit of softer water on the far side now, behind that island, or.
Yeah. Cory's really missioning upstream.
Yeah. How long did you make the beats? How long were the beats, Josh?
They've got 1,000 metres to work with, and if
1,000 metres, so
they're doing well.
Kirk's got 990 left, and Cory's got probably about 20.
What's the longest sort of beat that you've had to fish?
I had one in Slovakia that only had one marker. It had a top marker, and they said there wasn't a bottom marker. I could just go as far as I wanted. And the river was massive. That was the Arava. The river was huge as well.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. Just enormous. I just actually didn't find the fish in that session.
Yeah.
There were a lot of fish in there. I just didn't find them in the time I had.
Yeah. I've got a question for you. Have you ever been?
Down. He's drinking water.
Down.
Save the rod.
Yeah. That was the question I was about to ask you. Have you ever been?
He's got a face.
Oh, sorry.
I'm wondering if that's natural.
Thought I heard a fish, but we'll have to take another look at that. Yeah, so did you say you've been for a swim?
Oh, I've been for loads of swims. I'll be going for a few tomorrow as well. It's a bit of a nightmare, the wading where I'm going tomorrow. So I just lost the felt sole off my studded felts, so I'm going to have to go with either rubber.
Yeah.
My rubber sole boots, and they are not good on that kind of bottom. So I'll be swimming tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. Unfortunately.
At least you know it.
Yeah.
No surprise. Does the wife fish?
Yeah. Lucy does. She's been fishing with me today.
Yeah.
Just to a lake, just a local lake. So
yeah.
It was a tough day, to be honest. A lot of guys struggled. The rod average was probably only 2 or 3 fish today per angler, but she had 3 on the dries.
Yeah.
So did well. Guess well. It was a good day.
Do you use a dry much? Do you ever use a dry fly in competition? Is it a fly that comes out?
You got about 28.5 minutes, mate.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. The dries can be they can be a major method a lot of the time. Probably more so now because a lot of guys are concentrating with the urine nymphing stuff and hammering the pocket water and the moving water, and there's still plenty of fish in the smooth stuff, so yeah. I know the Spanish do a lot of dry fly fishing in the comps whenever they can, and the French guys as well. So yeah, the dries can definitely be a killer.
Kirk's actually been for a bit of a run. He's only got 900 metres left.
That's a bit different water.
So how much time's left?
There's 27 minutes left.
27 to go. Got it.
Now, would you have this situation, Howard, where Kirk was gone from the really, really hard water to where he is now? Would you fish it a lot different?
So there's a couple of things I would do. I mean, I normally carry 2 rods. I'd normally have a second rod on my belt, and it's obviously bad to tell from the video, but the kind of water he's just moved into, I would probably in that would either switch to something like the duo, maybe, drying a nymph, or even the blind dries, because it does look like quite good dry fly water, pockety dry fly water.
Yeah.
The only other thing you could do, or I would do sometimes, is just completely lighten up on the urine.
PS5.
Yeah.
The video definitely died off.
Nice looking water though.
Yeah.
Different, still nice.
We've got a question. I'm not sure if you can see it, from Scott Asbill. He said, "Can you explain when you use felt versus rubber, and perhaps something like rock treads? Especially interested in advantage of felt over the rubber."
So my default tends to be felt with studs. That tends to be my default sole, because it sort of gives you the best all-round grip. Obviously, some places you can't use felt, so you've got to take that into account. There are some regulations about it. The only time I don't use felt is when I'm fishing in the winter or anywhere where there's snow on the ground, because you end up just, with these huge big plates of snow glued to your felt soles.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of the rubber, I have to be honest. So like I said, I tend to default to felt and studs wherever I can. The only downside to the studs is obviously they grind on the bottom.
Yeah.
And if the fish are really, really spooky, it can alert them a little bit if you're not careful. But falling in alerts them as well. So you've just got to take your chance, really.
Yeah. I thought Cory had one, but you're on it.
Kirk is back in action.
What's your favourite beer, Howard?
Well, at the minute, the fridge is empty. I've had a Foster's, now I'm having a Stella, so I'm just cleaning up. So whatever's left at the minute. Whatever's left at the minute. I'm just hoping I can get out of bed in time to go fishing in the morning.
Well, we really appreciate your time, but if you need to go, I know you're busy.
No worries. You're all right. You're all right. I've still got I've got half a beer left yet, so.
Yeah.
Hey, we're at Eagle on the. They started them early. So we are on the Eagle, just above the bridge that crosses.
All right.
So cross the bridge and go around that round.
Made a fish landed for a bit.
You know where that?
It slowed up a little bit.
Yeah. Does it get frustrating if you hit a good spot and then you don't have any take for like 20, 30 minutes? Does it get frustrating?
Yeah, I mean, you get used to it. You know, a lot of the times, obviously, in these comps, you're fishing behind really good anglers. So, you know, sometimes you can have beautiful water, but if it's been assassinated by a top rod, it's always going to be tough. But the good thing about competition fishing is, you know, every single fish that you catch is pure adrenaline. It's the only place where, you know, 20 centimetre fish, you know, can be an absolute highlight of a 3-hour fishing session when you're in a competition. You know, when you're pleasure fishing, 20 centimetre fish are like, nah, it's just a fish. But in a competition, totally different thing.
Got Alan Lawless. I'm not sure if you can see the comment, but he said, "What competition had the best session?"
Well, the most fish I've ever caught in a session was in Italy. We had 49 in 3 hours on the circuit. That's the most numbers I've ever had. Probably I would say probably the best session I've ever fished was probably on the Bella in Slovakia. I fished behind one of the French guys, and he was fishing behind a good angler as well. And I think the French guy had maybe 20. I think I might have had 17 or something like that behind him. So I was quite chuffed with that one, to be honest, because obviously the French guys don't leave that many behind. So I probably caught quite a lot of the fish he'd already caught again in the afternoon. So I was quite chuffed with that one.
I've got to ask this question as I come from Tasmania. Is that the worst weather you had the World Championships in?
Sorry, mate, I missed the start of that.
The World Championships in Tasmania, the weather.
Oh, right.
Was that the toughest weather you've ever had to fish in?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It was fun. To be honest, though, it did. I'm glad it was like that in the end, because it did play a little bit sort of to our advantage, if you like, or it leveled the playing field is probably the best description for it.
Yeah.
I stalled the hatches a little bit and probably slowed up the home team, who were always probably going to be the favourites. If the conditions had been better, those guys would have been hard to beat. They're all really top-notch guys and top-notch anglers, and on the home waters they would have been hard to beat. Luckily for us and luckily for them, the weather sort of levelled the field a little bit.
So being from currently living in Finland and getting back to the home state of Tasmania, it was like I didn't even move. I left the winter in Finland and hit Tassie, and it was still the same.
Yeah, it was special. I'm glad I took so many pairs of shorts with me.
So what size fish are you looking at tomorrow?
A lot of small stuff.
Yeah.
We probably won't get much over about 30, 32 centimetres. A lot of mid-20s. It's really, really good. It's fish are quite aggressive. Usually there's a lot of them. It's all pocket water. So it should be good. Deadly wading.
All right, here we go. Netting.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Cory's on as well.
Fish in the net. Kirk's in. Got it.
One.
You guys both just hooked up. Damn.
Cory's in.
Cory's in. It's fish after fish.
We got a good little heat going.
Let's go, mate.
19 minutes to go.
19 minutes. We're allowed to tell them the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Tim. I'm not sure if you see that message from Timmy Corbett.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good question. So that's some of the videos I've done on YouTube. I mention a lot about efficiency and how you rig your net and everything like that. And when you're catching big numbers, it has got to be slick. Everything has got to be fast and smooth and second nature, because it's the difference between winning a session and not winning a session when there's a lot of fish getting caught.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I came third with 49. You know, those two guys. There was a 50 and a 51. You know, and it's so fine the margins. You know, those. If I put it in the context of Tasmania, you know, I drew on points with David out the Spanish team.
Yeah.
And you know, losing 1 point in one of them river sessions would have cost me. You know, I'd have ended up second. And you've just got to have everything slick, particularly a landing net. And that's why I'm really fastidious about how I set it up. I won't have it hanging off my back on a retractor or anything. I just like it, you know, to hand all the time so I can get it on and off fast. Just one of those things, you know. I think the more efficient you can be, you know, the more you can put on the card.
Yeah.
What was your best result at a Worlds? What was your best finish?
Well,
Was that for me?
Yes.
First.
Which Worlds?
The one that's just been.
Oh, congrats, man! That's freaking awesome. I came into this a little late. I was just not having that extra hour.
I've had a first, a fourth, and a 10th in the last
3 top 10.
6 years, something like that.
How'd you finish in the US?
I was nowhere. I don't know. I was in maybe 50th or something.
What did you think of the venues?
Yeah, the venues were really good. I was just the only thing that was that disappointed me a little bit, because I've fished there a lot previously, was the length of the beats. I was a little bit disappointed. They were so short, some of the beats.
Yeah, it was tough with trying to fit it all in.
Yeah, it was difficult, you know. And I fished Colorado a lot, so I know a lot of the rivers around there, and yeah, but it was still a great competition.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I helped John out quite a bit with it. It was really fun.
That 49, you would have been thought you had that one in the bag.
I was convinced I'd won that one, because the our Italian guide was said to us, "Oh, you probably need about 30 to win that session." So when I kicked in with nearly 50, I thought, oh, I've definitely won this. And yeah, but unfortunately, the French guy and one of the Slovakian guys had other ideas. So
Fish on.
Oh, Cory's got one.
Cory's on.
Yep, fish.
Fish.
Nice one, mate.
Things are very interesting.
There we go. Pulled it level.
Yeah, mate.
Kirk's really moving now.
Yeah, it looks like there's
How
some
much
good
time's
water
left?
just above him.
There's
That
4
head looks
minutes,
good.
55 seconds.
About 15 minutes, of course.
That looks pretty nice.
That's where Kirk's fishing you're talking about?
Yeah, that looks quite nice water around there.
Where would you be aiming? Just above the white water there, or?
I can't really see too much detail, but it's it all looks quite nice. You know, pretty even pace, nice depth. You know, although it doesn't look like there's a lot of structure, there probably is, just because of the the nature of the bottom. There's quite a few nice seams in there, and
Is there anything particular on the bottom of the river that you look for, like the riverbeds? Is it rocks? Is it grass?
it depends, but it can be anything really that can. I mean, all fish are just fish like the same things. You know, they like somewhere that's pretty easy to hang out where there's a steady supply of food coming and some form of cover, dependent on, you know, exactly where you are.
But, upstream, right as
at the side of attacked by a massive spider. At the side of you know, rocks or along the side of weed beds. Except when it comes to grayling, really. You know, a lot of times grayling will just sit out in open water over gravel quite happily. You know, they don't really need anything to sit around. It's only like hard to locate, to be honest, in some of the bigger rivers.
Yeah.
Quick, I'm gonna keep you on. So, do you know where the frontage of the
Things are pretty interesting with 13 minutes left.
You know
but I can see Cory's got a lot of cloud coverage and Kirk's fishing with blue skies.
Yeah.
If it was the same temperature, what would be the advantage of which one?
So we're just down.
If it was the same temperature,
yeah,
I'd go for. If it was the same temperature, I'd take the cloud every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just because you can hide from the fish better, or?
You know, it's a few things. Not always, but typically you will get better hatch activity when there's a bit of cloud cover. Not always, you know, but as a rule of thumb, you'll get better hatch activity. And the other thing is when you've got really strong sunlight, you know,
Cory's on again.
They can see everything sometimes. They can
get
a bit of flash off the leader and stuff.
Yeah, Cory's just dropped one.
Yeah. You know, things are harsher when there's bright sun, you know.
Yeah.
So you get away with less.
The guy had his time. He didn't know the Colorado time.
So, have you fished in Kuusamo, Finland?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Next year.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
And that guy's in New Zealand. He's
So what's the drill if these guys draw, Josh?
That's good one.
As in, where are they?
As in if it's a dead draw with a number of fish, how are you gonna?
If it's a dead draw, it's the first fish that was netted.
First fish. All right. Okay.
There is a little thing that we have to assess, which is, I think it was Kirk's second fish, off, I do believe.
Yeah, lost the coverage. Yeah.
So, any fish that's caught when out of coverage, it doesn't.
How much time is left?
There is 10 minutes 45 seconds.
Okay. Cool. Oh, now I can see the clock. Kirk, 10 minutes 45 seconds. And this guy's making me run today.
You don't have to go to the gym, mate. You're right.
I've never seen him wait like this before.
What's the ideal temperature, Howard, to fish in? As in water temperature?
I mean, with water temperature, as long as you've got to be a little bit careful because, you know, temperature does dictate where they're going to sit to a degree, you know, and how well they're going to feed. You know, but when you're in that sort of 60-degree kind of area, mid-60s and whatever, you know, they can be pretty active, and that tends to be when they push into that shallower water, that faster stuff where you can sort of, you know, take advantage of them with the urine nymphing and that kind of thing. You know, in lower water temperatures, particularly when it gets really cold, it's quite interesting. You're fishing some of them Italian rivers when they get that snow melt coming through them, and you've got to literally put, you know, where you'd put like 2 drifts through a nice looking bit of water normally, you've got to put like 20 drifts through it, 30 drifts through it, and then you'll get one. You know, because the fish are so torpid from the low temperature.
Yeah.
And the worst end of the scale is when it's really hot, when the water's really warm, and that just shuts them down completely.
Okay. No point going out. I've got Graham Lonigan's just asking, is there a size limit? No, mate, there's no size limit. There's just numbers. 1 power hour. See how many fish you can catch in 1 hour.
Bit of cross country for you boys.
Bit of cross country. 8.5 minutes to go.
I'll come down to the last fish this probably.
It could possibly do. This next fish is going to be a big decider, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man,
this is where you curse the lost ones. You know, sitting on the coach when you're going back at the end of a session and you've lost fish which have cost you place points is the worst. Probably one of the worst feelings you can have.
I did hear Cory yell out a beep word before. When he lost that one, I think he knows that was a big number, that one. I'm not sure what's going on with Cory's phone. Oh, there we go. Now he's back. Seven and a half minutes. Kristen Bogner. What happens if they tie? The thing is, if they tie, it comes down to who netted the first fish. Hey, Yari. Last 6.5 minutes.
6.5.
This will be a big fish if someone can get one. Howard, what would be your last time before, just say if there's 10 minutes remaining, when would be your last chance to change a fly, to make that decision to fish the last section of your beat?
So I wouldn't, if I'm in the dying minutes of a session, I typically don't start changing flies. It just then becomes more about, fishing different water with it and covering more water.
Yeah.
But I fish with a countdown timer running. Time management's a really big thing for competition fishing, for peg fishing. So I always have a countdown timer running on my watch, so I can monitor the time, and when I look at a beat before I start, I'll try and sketch it out how much time I'm going to spend in what kind of water.
Yep.
Have you ever been able to stick to that?
What was that one?
Have you ever been able to stick to that time frame? I've never been able to.
Yeah, the problem is things typically don't go according to plan. Funny enough, I'll mention that session when I had the big number in Italy again. The plan, there was a rock in the bottom third of my beat, quite low down, and my plan when I looked at it was, I thought if I can have 10 fish by the time I hit that rock, I'll be on track. And I got as far as the rock, and I think I had 22 when I hit the rock, and I ended up only fishing probably 1/6 of the beat. There was so many fish in it. So the plan doesn't always go according to plan, but I always try and sketch it out anyway.
Yeah, I've always found it to be so challenging, and 3 hours can go by so fast in a comp.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone in the blink of an eye.
Try 1 hour and you've just run 300 meters.
4 minutes left.
Here we go. Cory's
4
on.
minutes.
Cory's
Cory,
on.
up.
Fish. Fish. Awesome, brother.
There
Yep.
we go.
Saw that.
Keep it going, mate. Keep it going.
Into the lead at the end. Look.
They might have got you just in the front, bro. Let's go. Keep going.
Up on your one fish. Right.
3.5 minutes.
3.5
3.5.
minutes, mate. Let's go.
Pressure now. That's it.
Would you think there's a big difference, Howard, in fishing Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere? Would you have guessed it would be this close, or?
To be honest, no. I thought looking at Cory's water and then looking at Kirk's water, I thought, you know, I think Kirk's had quite a lot of chances that, you know, just haven't stuck, and unfortunately that happens sometimes. I was in a competition last weekend and dropped 10 fish, and it's a friendly sort of league thing on the still waters, and dropped 10 fish and didn't qualify. And, you know, 2 days before, I think I lost 1 out of about 30. So sometimes you can't do anything about it, but looking at the 2 different bits of water, if I had to take one now, I would take Kirk's.
Yeah. It's pretty damn close. I wasn't expecting it to be this close.
Yeah.
There is 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
2:10.
Mate, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Let's go.
2 minutes.
But what do you think of this, Howard?
I think I've got one of those upstairs.
Thanks, Clint. One and a half minutes left.
Still time for a fish, though.
Still plenty of
water
time.
looks good.
The way Cory's been fishing, he'd fish another 50 metres probably.
Yeah.
He's just noticed fresh footsteps in the mud, so he's wondering if someone's gone through before him this morning.
Last minute.
1 minute. There's a fish in there. Come on.
Last
Fish.
30 seconds.
Fuck, he just snagged up.
Last 15.
Time, brother. Time.
Game over.
There we go. Awesome, mate.
I'll,
Mike showed up. This is Mike Pukas, one of the world's best casters. Wins all the casting competition. He had 8, you had 7. You lost by 1.
Awesome job, though, guys. Really good, that.
This is the preliminary score right now. What will happen is we'll review the game and just make sure the scores are right. And in 30 minutes, we will put the final score up, the official score. But at the moment, it's 8-7, Cory's favour. And in 30 minutes, we'll have the review done and we'll get back to you. You'll find it on Ultimate Adventure Fishing and Hunting
You go.
See who's the confirmed winner. But how did let's grab Cory.
He swam. Oh, dude, over his head. Ooh. He took very
How are you, mate?
This river is one of the toughest rivers that I've ever fished to wade. Slippery.
It's slippery and loose. Like I was
Is that even on there? Not
How's,
Josh.
How you feeling, mate?
I'm stuffed, mate. I should have covered about half that distance for 20, and I was just going through water, and there was no fish there. Like, I changed flies a couple of times, thought because of the activity of the day, they might have been more on some darker natural. Did that, nothing. Wasn't even seeing fish in the clearer pools on the edges, which you would. I come around the corner here, and there's fresh footprints in the mud. It's like midday, people do fish here, so somebody's obviously come through. Yep. So it's made it a lot harder than it should have been.
But nice work, buddy. Eight fish. You happy with that?
No. I would have thought I would have needed 20. I don't think I could have pulled 22, 23 off this river. I thought Kirk might be around the 25 sort of zone. I've fished the Eagle before. But that's fishing on the day.
That is fishing. Well, how are you feeling, Kirk?
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. A little wet, but the water temperature just rose so much this afternoon. The fish, like, they were just in that one spot, really concentrated, and further up the river I went, like, there were fewer and fewer fish, and I could feel the water temperature was a lot warmer than this morning. So they just kind of
want some of this water to mix with your water.
What's that?
You want some of this water to mix with your water?
Yeah,
it's only about 6 degrees.
Awesome. Well, just want to say well done, guys. That was a cracker first game. As I said, I will get the final score up in about 30 minutes. But at the moment, it's 8 to Cory, 7 to Kirk. But the scores will be reviewed, and final score will get put up. Then I want to say a big thank you to Howard Croston. Thanks, mate, for sitting up.
No worries. Well done, guys. Good fishing, eh? That was awesome. Good to watch.
Yeah. Thanks to you too, Josh, Kirk, and Howard. Awesome and awesome to be involved. And thank you from New Zealand.
Yeah. Nice. It's great to see a couple of different rivers at the same time and how you guys operate and work the water. So I don't think there's a lot of people that have seen competition fly fishing before, but I think this will give them a fair idea how hard you guys work. So well done.
Awesome to see Cory win this one out of season. Final score 8-7, a very close one. But after review, we had to take off one fish from Kirk. So the final score was 8-6. And Cory will move through to the semi-finals. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. And thanks, everyone, for watching. And we'll see you at the next one.